Justin Baldoni supporter protests at Blake Lively's Another Simple Favor premiere. She crashed the event and stole the spotlight. This happens to be a friend of the show, and she is tagged in the description of our video today, Colonel Kurtz. Shout out to a real one who is not just making content in the privacy of her own home, but going out into the world to make the content happen for everyone else. You are creating our own content.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Kurtz. You're an icon. She just reached icon status.
I texted her before the show. I said, we're about to cover the
She's
protest.
Incredible. And I was so mad when we didn't cover this yesterday because X was down. But this is the video that Variety published on their Twitter. She's holding up a sign in this video. Justice for Justin Baldoni, Blake lied. And she's wearing this custom shirt that says
went
Blake
and had
lied.
the shirt made.
She actually made it herself. She ironed on the lettering at home, flew out there, and showed up for Justin Baldoni. We love to see it.
Justin Baldoni needs to reach out and offer her thank you.
And so we see all of these headlines calling it out, but none of them want to give Colonel Kurtz the credit.
By the way, I just refreshed her channel, guys. She just got to 99.8K.
She's so close to
She's
100K.
Right there.
If you have not subscribed before now, you definitely ought to. And also, she's been on the show how many times at this point?
At least 3.
Yeah, like a few times. So if you're new, you might not have seen those episodes. Go back and watch them. She is hilarious and insightful. And
she is.
She has great content.
We used to do like a weekly live stream. Like when she and I both had more free time, we would do a weekly live stream covering all sorts of things. And what was always fun about that is like we'd have like these things we were going to talk about. And given that I have no sense of like organization, she'd be like, let's talk about this. And I would start rambling about something. And she would always go with me.
She's there for the journey.
She was there for the journey, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But how about we go here? We don't do that here. We try to stay on topic as much as possible. And even then, I start to yank us away from the topic from time to time because my brain is mush. But she's the best. You guys should all go subscribe to her channel.
She also reacted to the headlines that we're publishing in real time. On Twitter, she said, I'm still laughing that this is me in the photo next to Blake Lively. I know it's ridiculous. You should have seen my man standing near me the whole time cracking up. Get you a mans who supports your Justin Baldoni protest.
Yep.
I can't even right now. I'm front page breaking news on Daily Mail. Glad to do my part to get the word out tonight in Austin. Follow me for more on Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. I had a great time tonight filming interviews and asking people for their thoughts on Baldoni versus Lively. Follow me and subscribe for forthcoming videos and interviews from the night. I think that it was more surprising to me that she was the only one who thought of this.
Yeah.
Like I actually would have predicted more people showing up in support of Baldoni, given the amount of attention this has gotten online. But maybe that's just proof that it's easier to sit on your ass and write tweets and make TikToks about a situation than show up in real life and show your real face doing it and standing for what you believe.
If I send you like protest messages in Slack, is that slacktivism?
That's like double slacktivism. Yeah. And I saw an interesting perspective on Colonel Kurtz and her business model as a content creator from a feminist perspective, one that I believe is sympathetic to Blake Lively. So here's this following tweet. As a female content creator who covers pop culture news from a leftist perspective, it's alarming to see the proliferation of reactionary female content creators who fully realize that the pop culture celebrity news space is ripe for right-wing dominance. We talk about the manosphere and online radicalization of men and boys, but we are not talking enough about the women who are also being radicalized via reactionary female content creators who utilize entertainment industry cases of sexual harassment to push a regressive agenda. There's absolutely a celebrity gossip to alt-right pipeline taking sexual harassment cases as gossip and framing it this way. It attracts the attention of people who seek this type of news and content. So they're actually showing pictures of Colonel Kurtz and her sign that she held outside the event. But they're also definitely throwing shade at Candace Owens in this post, who has gotten millions upon millions of views and thousands of subscribers from covering the Lively Baldoni case, who are both coming at it, maybe not from a right-wing perspective, but a critical thinking
in their
perspective.
opinion, that doesn't even make any sense here because she's... no, never mind. No, let me rephrase it. Let me pull that back in. So, first of all, Colonel Kurtz is like... She was like a professor, and she's very, very educated and intelligent and well-spoken. I kind of laugh at the idea of calling that type of content reactionary. When I think of reactionary, I think of like going from issue to issue to issue. She stays on a topic and deep dives kind of in the same way that Popcorn Planet does with a lot of the same things, right? I don't think of that as...
She knows her niche.
Yeah, I don't think of that as reactionary at all. I think of that as invested in a specific topic. The only difference is you don't like her conclusion.
Right.
And if you liked her conclusion, she wouldn't be considered reactionary. So is the idea of being reactionary just whatever goes against the modern mainstream dogma? Is that the definition of reactionary? Because I have a problem with that.
I guess reactionary is having any reaction to a Me Too claim other than believing.
Than believing them.
Like, I don't know what else to make of it. She also said, this feminist said, Depp versus Heard was a catalyst for this type of content because pro-Depp content was rewarded immensely and dominated the internet. Tons of content creators, I believe she's also referring to Colonel Kurtz here, seized on the burgeoning backlash to the Me Too movement, have continued to make content that is not remotely subtle in misogynistic framing.
I have seen Colonel Kurtz also take the opposing perspective on certain cases. She is not locked into saying that all women are lying all the time.
So which cases do you recall that she's taken the other?
I mean, I would rather have her on to talk about. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was at least a couple.
I wonder what she would think of like the Harvey Weinstein claims, because Candace Owens is also currently in the process of releasing a multi-part series about her conversations with Harvey Weinstein. Apparently they've been talking for years, and she's trying to expose some of the media lies about Harvey Weinstein, which is really controversial.
I mean, all of this is kind of the natural outcome of a democratized form of media engagement, whereas at one time, whatever the narrative was existed and was put forth by the same 5 to 10 outlets, all of which are probably owned by even less companies. Penske Media owning like half of them, whether it's Variety, Deadline, all of these companies fall in line, fall in sync, and promote the same idea. And when the internet allowed people to have a voice, it allowed other people to form opinions, and they don't like that. They really hate that. Now, that is not to say that I agree or disagree with everyone on all of these cases. If anything, I tend to take the perspective of they're better than me because I don't have the attention span to care enough about a lot of these cases to like really, really go in depth. It's why me and you talk all the time about we try to strike a balance between covering topics and spreading out to other ideas so that the show isn't like all one thing. Like even today, we had, like when we were covering the stuff at the beginning with Sydney Sweeney, I said, is this too close to the thing about Lavender Brown to do them both in one day? Like, it's all about finding a balance, but other people who do care about treating it like a form of reporting as opposed to just being a pundit, it's different. And it's not fair to them to act as if just because they go against the mainstream prescribed narrative that they're somehow, alt-right? That's insane.
Yeah, Colonel Kurtz is like, if we're talking about her and not just a generalized statement, she is totally like a lib. I know that because I'm conservative and we disagree on just about everything, especially in regard to sexual politics and like relationships and morality. Like, we're totally at odds on those things. But I understand it's just the general principle of the thing. You cannot let the Me Too movement run roughshod over innocent people, however many times that happened, and expect there to not be an equal and opposite reaction, and that's what's happening now.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media, and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.